Hello students. In today's session, we'll discuss Human Genome Project, a very interesting concept. Human Genome Project, one of the biggest projects, or we call it as a mega project. Why? We'll find the answers for these questions. Let us start. Human Genome Project. It mainly involves the sequencing of base pairs in DNA that determines genetic information of the organism. You already know that the phenotype of organisms is controlled by genes. Genes are nothing but a fragment of DNA, and DNA is made up of nucleotide sequence. Those nucleotide sequences that determines the genetic information of the organism. In other words, the phenotype or the genetic makeup, phenotype or genotype of an organism or individual lies in the DNA sequence. When you compare monozygotic twins and dizygotic twins, or all individuals are not similar except monozygotic twins. They differ in terms of color, shape and size. That means the sequences, the characters which controlling the or genes which controlling the characters also differ from one individual to the other individual. That's why the two individuals are differ, then their sequence also differ at some places. And these assumptions led to the quest of finding the complete DNA sequence of human genome. Again, the question arises, what is meant by genome? You already know that there are 46 chromosomes. The haploid set of chromosomes we call it as a genome. No need of sequencing all the 46 chromosomes because out of 46 chromosomes, 44 chromosomes are similar. They are homologous. In case of female, all 23 pairs of chromosomes are similar. Only in case of male individuals, the 23rd pair have two different chromosomes. One is X and Y. So in case of male individuals, human genome consists of 24 chromosomes, whereas in case of female, 23 chromosomes. With the establishment of genetic engineering techniques or biotechnology, where it is possible to isolate and clone any piece of DNA, and availability of simple and fast technique for determining the DNA sequence. For example, a character is controlled by any character. You take it, tall is a character. That character is controlled by specific gene. That gene is isolated and cloned, and the cloned gene sequence is identified by genetic engineering or through recombinant DNA technology. Let us start with I told you about a mega project. This project was launched in the year 1990 and completed in the year 2006. It's a 13 years project. It was supposed to be completed in 2003, but due to some reasons it is completed. It was completed in the year 2006. Why it is called as a mega project? The question arises. Cost wise, one, then data wise and collaboration wise. It's considered as a mega project. The question arises, why? Why cost-wise it's a mega project, data-wise it's a mega project, collaboration-wise was mega project? Let us find. Approximately in case of human genome, human genome approximately made up of 3 into 10 to the power 9 base pairs. If you start Cost of sequencing, okay, for each base pair, the cost of sequencing required US $3 per base pair, per base pair. So total estimated cost will be 9 million. So 9 billion, not million, it's a 9 billion, US 9 billion. That's why it's considered as a, cost wise, it's a mega project. And the mega, okay, as a result of sequencing, that will generate a large amount of data. Okay. Or this project would generate so much data to store it. So, second, and would require, okay, required, if you start the sequencing, you start writing in the textbook, okay, it will require around 3,300 books, and each book is made up of around, okay, 1,000 pages. Okay, so as a result of this, okay, as a result of this, the human project was closely associated with a rapid development of new area of biology, and that new area is called bioinformatics. Why? Because data wise, it's a mega project. As a result of DNA sequence, large, enormous amount of data is collected. In order to store and process the data, we required high-speed computers. That leads to a new area of biology called bioinformatics or genomics. Or new branches of biology is developed for this purpose, and that is called bioinformatics. Okay, so it is officially started in the year 1990. Okay, so turning point of HGP is effort shifted from mapping to sequencing. Mapping to sequencing. The software to locate the unique sequences of DNA. Unique sequences of DNA. Next comes, so in the year 1999, chromosome 22 was mapped and sequenced. The first draft of human genome is completed in the year, okay, chromosome 22 was mapped in the year 2000. The greatest achievement of the century. The next comes the goals of HGP. Before HGP, the people were considered the human genome is approximately made up of around 30 to 40,000 genes. The main goal of HGP to identify the human genes. This is a main. How the genes interact with other genes, how genes produces proteins, how the genes regulates the metabolic pathway, how the genes interact with each other. These are the one located. So located on the 20 to 25,000 genes located on the 22 autosomes and X and Y chromosomes. Second goal, to identify location of specific genes. And third, to improve the tools of data analysis. And fourth one, to determine base by base arrangement of 3.2 billion base pairs in human DNA. And helps in storing the information in database. And the last goal, to transfer related technology to the sectors such as industries, industries. Human Genome Project was applied towards solving challenges in healthcare, agriculture, energy production, environmental remediations, disease diagnosis. These are the goals of HGP. And this project was completed in the year 2003. Supposed to be completed in the year 2003, but it was completed in the year 2006. So HGP was a 13-year project and project coordinated by US Department of Energy and National Institute of Health, and supported by other countries. Okay, so during early years, Wellcome Trust became major partner. In additional contribution came from Japan, France, Germany, China, and others. Okay, collaboration wise, it's a mega project. Many non-human genome models, organisms such as bacteria, yeast, nematodes, Drosophila plants have been sequenced. Come back to the methodology. Commonly, we used two methods. One is expressed sequence stats, and second one is annotation, DNA annotation. So you already know that in chromosome, DNA is present in two forms. We have euchromatin and heterochromatin. And you already know the difference between euchromatin and heterochromatin. Euchromatin is transcriptionally active and heterochromatin is transcriptionally inactive. Or we have in mRNA we have two sequences, coding sequences and non-coding sequences, and the coding sequences coding sequences which codes for protein, whereas non-coding sequences will not code for any proteins. So based on this, genome sequencing is done. The first method is, in the human genome only coding sequences are analyzed, or the identifying those sequences which are expressed as RNA. Such we called as a expressed sequence stats. This is the first method of methodology of genome sequencing, expressed sequence stats. The second one, blind approach, that is entire human genome was sequenced. That means we have both coding sequences and non-coding sequences, and both coding and non-sequences are identifying both sequencing, coding sequences and non-sequencing is known as DNA annotation. So these are the two methods of genome sequencing, methodologies of DNA sequencing. One is expressed sequence stats, second one is DNA annotation. Next one, to construct linkage map, genetic map, is based on recombination frequency. Physical maps are developed. Commonly it involved one step is isolation of DNA from the cell, one method. And after isolating the DNA, they are treated with restriction endonucleases. So nucleases which digest the DNA. So as a result of this, when they are treated with restriction endonucleases, a piece of DNA is obtained. And that DNA, fragments of DNA are cloned by inserting into the host organisms. Commonly for cloning, the two hosts are used. One is bacteria, another one is yeast. And these fragmented DNA are introduced into the host cell by using two vectors. One, bacterial artificial chromosome, and second one is a yeast artificial chromosome. So commonly for a human genome project, yeast artificial chromosome used as a vector for sequencing of DNA sequencing. That helps in identifying the base sequences. With a standard Sanger method, DNA sequencing is done. So for this, for DNA sequencing, Frederick Sanger got Nobel Prize. And he developed the process. It involved what? One is gene mapping, second one is physical mapping, and third one is sequencing. So next, We'll move to the silent features of Human Genome Project. So, Human Genome Project contains 3,164.7 billion nucleotide base. One. Second one, the total number of genes estimated about 30,000 genes. Almost all nucleotide bases are exactly same in all individuals. That means they differ in a nucleotide polymorphism, single nucleotide polymorphism. For example, in a DNA, we have a sequence adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine. This is in one individuals. In in the other individuals, we have adenine, cytosine, guanine, and thymine. In the third individual, we have adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. That means they differ in one nucleotide. We call it as a single nucleotide polymorphism that makes individuals unique. Is that clear? So, second one, the number of total number of genes are estimated around 30,000. Almost all nucleotide bases are exactly same in all individuals. The average gene contains 3,000 bases, but the size varies greatly. The largest gene is a dystrophin gene, and it has made up of around 2 to 4 million base pairs. Next one. So 99.9% of bases are similar in all people, only 1% differ. And next silent feature, the functions of over 50% of discovered genes are unknown. That means when you consider human genome, less than 2% of genome codes for protein, remaining does not code for any proteins. So it's a very difficult task to identify only 2% of genome that codes for protein. And the large portion of human genome contains repetitive sequences. The number of times repetitive sequence occur in DNA varies from among the different individuals, from one individual to the other individual. It varies. Look at here. So in one individual we have only 3 repetitive sequences. In the other individual we have 1, 2, 3. Look at here. So in other individuals we have in one individual we have 1, 2, 3 sequences, whereas in other individual we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sequences. Okay. Next one. The shed light on chromosome structure and dynamics of evolution. Chromosome 1 has most genes, that is 2,968 genes, whereas Y chromosome has fewest genes, that is 231 genes. So come back to the huge genetic variations in human species. Helps to find chromosomal locations and disease tracing in human history. That is applications of Human Genome Project. Look at here. In every cell there are 3 billion base pairs in DNA. Nearly 97% of our DNA has no functions, which has non-coding sequences. If letter recited at 1 letter second for 24 hours, it will take a century to recite. So nearly 98% of human DNA is identical to that of a chimpanzee. So we are closest relatives. To Human Genome Project helps in identifying the evolutionary links, how the organisms are evolved, how the new species is originated. So applications: information of genes based on working groups or industries. 1. Address ethical, legal and social issues. Determine the sequence in non-human genome subject. Determine the sequence in non-human subject. This is one. Then helps in industry to identify the gene functions, identifying the genes and genetic regulations. So you already know that gene functions, how regulated. Okay. In the last session we discussed about Lac-Operon concept. Structural genes and regulatory genes are identified. Better means of diagnosing and treating diseases. Okay. Means to identify mutations in DNA. Okay. That helps in to cure some congenital diseases which are caused by mutations. Then learn how genes interact to maintain the functioning of living organisms. Compare genome sequence of different species. Determines the evolutionary relationship. Identifying the genes associated with the various diseases. Development of gene therapy. Okay. Study mechanism of drug action. So these are the applications of Human Genome Project. So in the next session we'll discuss DNA fingerprinting. Thank you.